Tortured. It's from the front row with Johnathan T. Rokford.
Oh my God, I'm so tired. Flip. Remind me next time we go to Chicken Fat Thomas, don't eat so much. God damn. Shit is good. Oh, those gyros. Picasso. Yeah. That was a big week. Shit. Ugh. When we said time to feedback, we really meant. What's up, folks? How you doing? It's me, Johnathan T. Rokford here. And good morning, folks. No better way to start your day than having your ears tortured by me on a nice Sunday morning. And as always, folks, we will start with our game changer finale, as like an Umbrus and the Master Sean Puff, they went for a while. I mean, they lasted. I mean, they must have had some blue chew pills or some shit like that, but eventually the Master Sean Puff mastered like an Umbrus, and he put the dog down for the count and retained his game changer championship. And that was actually a good battle for, Sean, because he was able to focus on one opponent instead of multiple opponents for the week. I mean, granted, you would like to get the matches over as quickly as possible, but every once in a while, when you have another match that's equally as important or more important, I would say having a long game changer match and not having to go through multiple opponents is probably the way to go. Now, we had our esteemed commentary team on hand for our official matches, as Claude Queensville and Peter Phillips were joined by Martel the Carpenter, whose match did not occur because his opponent did not show up. Now, I would say he did a good job, but it's Martel, so you can only do but so much. I mean, granted, Claude and Peter, they don't really need help, but they do enjoy the company every now and then. But we got into action as a triple threat match turned into a one-on-one as Fuego L took on Crusher LB when primetime Nick Storm did not show for his match. And Crusher LB was able to overcome the offense of Fuego L and pick up the win. Flip, is your voice squeaky today too? It must be that barbecue sauce they put in that food. La la la, me. Okay, we're good. Now our second match saw the First Lady Alexa Leslie taking on the OG, the Wraith, and as always, the First Lady is tough to beat, and in a nice match, very competitive, very professional, very classy. The First Lady was able to overcome the Wraith and his dark ways and pick up the victory. What? I don't know what's going on over here, JP. That's just weird shit. It's kind of toxic, actually. No, it's toxic. No, I'm not talking about like Britney Spears toxic either. Even though it's toxic. Now, our next match featured the Super Champion King taking on Shepard Bane. Shepard Bane was able to defeat the Super Champion King via pin fall, folks. I would say it was dominated, but he dominated the beginning of the match. Super Champion tried to make a run, but at the end of the day, you win some, you lose some, or unless you're Starling J, or Jackson Ayers, then you lose them all. Speaking of which, of losers, the Emperor 2K Anomaly was taking on Donny Boy. And you want to talk about domination. I mean, the match was over as soon as the bell rang, folks, as Donny Boy just put down the Emperor. It it wasn't even a contest, folks. You know, I gotta give it to the Emperor though. He keeps trying. If we had participation trophies, well, he'd probably lose that too. Shit. God damn. Oh well. Now the forgotten when Matty Ice was up against South Bronx Savage, and a nicely hot contested match, which was won by Matty Ice. Yeah, you know that guy. That's a weird name. I wonder how he's forgotten, because he should be the unknown, because nobody knew who the fuck he was when he got back. Yeah. I'm just saying. Some of these names. Speaking of names, the blueprint, Jackson Ayers, was finally introduced to the one and only Johnny Rocco, folks, and he found out the hard way why you don't make mistakes around Johnny Rocco, as Johnny was able to defeat Jackson Ayers via the Charm City Driver. I don't know. I guess you could tell that's Starlin's dude. I mean, she lost to Johnny Rocco too before, so among other people. So there's that. Yeah, but Johnny Rocco, he's in a rare form right now, folks. He's gearing up to go for the IC title against Fat Thomas, folks. So he's trying to stay laser focused, folks. So I can't wait for that match. Fat Thomas versus Johnny Rocco. I mean, shoot, when was the last time we seen that match? I think the last time we saw him, it would have had to been a game changer match, wouldn't it? Didn't he call him out one time and lost? Hey, you know, if history is any indication of anything, we could see a new Intercontinental Champion. You never know. Now, our next match was Nergahante taking on Money MF and Mike of the Killer Goons, and Nergante was able to pick up the win by the slimmest of effort. That was a not that I'm telling you, for some of these matches were close. They could have went either way. If it was a score, it'd be like 2 points, a buzzer beater, even. Now our next match featured the badass Eddie Von Daddy taking on Casper 2779. Who would have thought, folks? Back-to-back matches featuring Killer Goons plus tough opponents equals L's by Killer Goons, as badass Eddie Von Daddy defeated Casper 2779. And you know, I feel bad for that guy. I mean, he got up there and then just he'll get there again. I'm gonna have faith in him. You know, yeah, I know a lot of disappointments, but Flip eventually, you know, yeah, he's gotta get on a nice streak at some point in time, folks. Now, the tough match that did occur between Fat Thomas and Lycan Umbras, and the match was over once Fat Thomas decided to hit the Eclipse on Lycan Umbras, who was still probably licking his wounds from the game changer match. I'm gonna tell you right now, Shona and Johnny Rocco were down on Misfit Row. They were like cheering on Fat Thomas. There's like, get it, big boy, get it. I mean, wow. I think Johnny even said there's some ribs in it for him if he won. I think that sparked it. Yeah. Shit, that sparked me too. Oof. Hope we don't have no indigestion later. And speaking of things that will give you some indigestion, Big Mel was up against James Altraz in another hotly contested match, which Big Mel was able to pull out the victory. That was pretty via submission too. I know. It's not too many matches you see Big Mel go for a submission, but you figure submission hold plus weight. Yeah, just the weight alone would fucking probably make you want to quit. Between him and Fat Thomas, dude, I swear, I don't know which one of them. I don't think you could breathe either way. It's like the fucking if the moon passed in front of the sun. Yes. Yeah, I know some shady shit. Now, Tesseract was taking on the Darkstalker. And Darkstalker's been on a weird ride lately, folks. Like he hasn't found his groove lately. Like his other sinister brethren and sister. At some point in time, we're going to see the real Darkstalker. It's only a matter of time. You know, once he gets rid of that Darkstalker Jr., well, one, he'll be able to spell. Maybe. Two, maybe he'll start winning some matches and move up the rankings. But yeah, that was a hard match. I mean, you're facing the world champ. Granted, it's Tesseract, but still, that gotta beat Red Death. It's like almost like Booker's got it in for that Darkstalker. You ever notice his matches? It's like some top names he's facing, and like, it doesn't always end well. No. Now, speaking of Red Death was facing Jayla Masters, who's been begging for top-notch competition, folks. And it looked like WPA said, fuck it, and they gave him Red Death. See what he could do with that. And he lost, folks. So, my thing is this. Now, you got two forces, folks, that are hard to beat. Red Death. You got to be on your A game to beat him. And Jayla Masters, who's one tough SOB, knocking heads. And Red Death overcame that. I mean, that was a good challenge for him, going against Jayla Masters. But my thing is this. I've seen Jayla Masters lose to the bottom of the barrel before. But this is a guy who, for a while, owned Jermaine Walker. If we can get that Jayla Masters, there's no stopping him, folks. He'd be world champ. If I'm lying, I'm dying, folks. And I'm not. Now we moved on to number one contender matches, and of course the first one was number one contender match for the Triple Threat Championship. And match one saw the Brass Hole taking on Mac Blakely versus Texas Hate You. And opponent plus Killer Goon equals loss number 4, folks. Outside of Big Mel, all the Killer Goons lost. I mean, I don't know. I sometimes wonder about that faction, folks. But the Brass Hole got pinned by Texas Hate You, who will be moving on to the Triple Threat Championship match. Now, match 2 saw Frankie Bones versus the man nobody wants to lose to, Quanny Fist versus DJ Tech. Now, to Quanny Fist's credit, he did not get pinned. No, but he also did not win, as DJ Tech pinned Frankie Bones. DJ Tech must have felt sorry for him. He could have pinned him. They were both kind of knocked out. Yeah. What's that? Yeah. Yeah, Kwani looks like the kind of guy that would eat, like, pour the milk in his bowl and then pour the cereal. Yeah. Just backwards. Now, we had a number one contender match that had everybody's attention, folks, as the Master Sean Puff took on the self-proclaimed God of WPA, Jermaine Walker. And I don't know, can we call that an upset? I mean, the Master has his moments. But he did overcome a late surge by Jermaine Walker to defeat him and become number one contender for the television championship, folks. He said he was focused, folks. One of the things that's eluded the Master Sean Puff, outside of a game changer championship, is a sanctioned individual title. He's gotten tag team gold before. He's had trio gold before. But no individual gold, folks. And I think that if he's able to get his hands on some individual gold, he'll do good. I mean, he does well with the Game Changer Championship. I know, regardless of what people say about, oh, it doesn't mean anything. There's few competitors in WPA that actually make the Game Changer title mean something. And Sean Puff would be one of those. He holds it in high regards. You know, it's important to him. Make sure he picks good opponents most of the time. He holds it with a level of class that's game changer worthy for an unsanctioned title. And granted, the match has no rules. I mean, you can do whatever you want to. It doesn't take place in the ring. All you need is a ref and 2-3 guys to fight. But the Master defends it well. He's picked some tough opponents. But yeah, he'll be moving on to the television match, folks. Now, our last number one contender match featured two members of Sinister facing each other to decide who would go on to face the world champ Tezzeret. And that was a battle, folks. It wound up spilling outside the ring, and they both were counted out when the ref tried to get them back in the ring. And they didn't stop fighting, folks. They had to be physically separated by security. And their fellow, Sinister members, well, minus Johnny Rockwell, he was egging them to keep going, but he likes watching fights. So yes, I really feel for Tezzeret. This is especially because what's coming up this week. He's got to face two members of Sinister, both former champs in their own rights. Hell, Shona still has a belt. She's part of the Trios champions. But yeah, if he beats them two, folks, you don't need to talk about Tezzeret anymore. But I actually foresee one, either Shona or the Beast, defeating him. It's gonna be one hell of a match, though. A triple threat match in true WPA form. Of course, we would get a triple threat match. Now, speaking of triple threats, triple threat title was on the line as the champion, the Prince of Crime Delirious, took on Tiffany aka Luna, and Money. And Luna, Tiffany, whatever she wants to call herself, the Starbuck Princess, was able to pin Money and become the new triple threat champion, folks. And I think this is what her second title here in WPA. I could be wrong, but I'm not going to go look it up. So she will be facing Texas Hates You and DJ Tech. Now, we've seen Tiffany go on runs, and this could be the start of one. So hopefully Texas and DJ are ready to go and bring their A game. Now in our television championship, we had Chrysalis taking on Katz and Corey, and Chrysalis was able to defeat Katz and Corey after getting a good competition from him. They battled for a while before Chrysalis was able to defeat him. Yeah, Katz and Corey is pretty tough. Say what you will. Chrysalis is as well in his own right is tough too, but Katzen, he'll be back in the title picture. I mean, he earns that every time, dude. If I see him in a #1 contender match, I usually think he's going to win. He just needs to get over that hump and get that title. Now, in an open challenge for the United States Championship, we had the Kingpin, JP DiMaggio, taking on the Standard, Starlin J. And, well, I actually, for once, and I had to wash my mouth out and my eyes. I actually for 1 minute thought Starlin J was going to actually put up a fight. A good fight. A close fight. And it just wasn't meant to be, folks. As the Kingpin defeated Starlin J, dude, I think she's been caught up by almost every U.S. champion we've had, with the exception of one. I mean, Big Mel called her out like, what, 3 times? I think the Messiah called her out. And now the Kingpin. I mean, well, actually, he didn't call her out. He just forgot to issue a challenge, and she opened her mouth. It is what it is, folks. I think she needs to just. The bookers need to just start booking her in basement matches. You know, get her momentum built up. You know, I'd laugh if one day the bookers just felt froggy and made her face her boyfriend Jackson to see which one of them is actually better. They probably would draw. I guarantee it. If you put Jackson Ayers against Starlin J, that match would end in a draw, and they'd both be losers. You couldn't pick a winner in that one. That'd be interesting though. That you notice we never have any faction members going against each other here, unless it's a #1 contender match or a title match. That would be interesting to see who amongst faction members is the better. Yeah, we might want to stop trying to give the bookers ideas. But folks, that's all we got as we get ready for spooky season. It's almost Halloween. And we have unsanctioned action coming up, folks. As the unsanctioned champion was stripped of his title. And we have an unsanctioned championship match with the Emperor 2K Anomalium. How the fuck did he get in that? Versus Red Death. I can already tell you who's going to win that one. I would normally pick Red Death, but I have a feeling the Emperor is going to pull this out and become the new unsanctioned champion. Yeah, fucking Martel got fired on his day off. Ain't that some shit? That's what happens when you don't defend your title. Like when there's one defense he was supposed to have, him and his opponent never showed up. We'll also have the unsanctioned tag team championship with Jermaine Walker and his partner, the Standard Starlin J, versus the Master Sean Puff and Ethan. Who the fuck is Ethan? That's folks. I'm reading it. I'm reading it off of our unsanctioned listing here, and we have a bracket, folks. Qualifying matches. Bracket A will feature Lycan Umbers versus Mac Blakely in match 1. Match 2 will feature the Forgotten One, Matty Ice versus the Tezzeret. Match 3, Delirious versus Tiffany. And match 4 will see the sponsored athlete Jalen Masses versus the badass Eddie. That's the match I'm going to be watching. That's going to be a good match. Now, bracket B will be Big Mel versus James Altrez, who just faced each other this week, folks. They're going at it again in an unsanctioned qualifying match in bracket B. And then we'll have Fat Thomas versus Adrian Christopher. Who's that? We'll figure it out. And we'll have the Ronin versus Donnie Boy. And another match we are looking forward to. It's always a banger of a match. It'll be Johnny Rocco versus the First Lady, Alexa Leslie. Now, there's more matches to be announced. But, whew, I already see 2 matches I can't wait to see. Johnny Rocco and the First Lady, them 2 always put on a good match. And we'll have the sponsored athlete versus the badass. Let's see, what is there? Like an Umers versus Mac Blakey might be good too. But I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna laugh. There's a lot of matches that are going on that people just faced their opponents this past week. But that's unsanctioned, folks. Something to watch. Blink and you'll miss it. But that's all I got this today, folks. Hopefully you're enjoying your Sunday. Go get some breakfast. In case you didn't know, it's okay to eat a gyro for breakfast, folks. Hell, eat some ribs for breakfast. As a matter of fact, if you want to do that, go on down to Fat Thomas's Barbecue. As a matter of fact, Flip, I forgot to tell you, we actually have a new sponsor for our Game Changer Championship. Yes, for the first time ever. Fat Thomas's Barbecue is our sponsor now for Game Changer action, folks. I mean, come on. It's a buffet of violence. Then you can go get a buffet of ribs and gyros. But Philip is coming up, folks. Remember, as always, folks, don't drink and drive. Remember to hug your loved ones. Pick up the phone. Call that friend. He needs to hear your voice. Could be a saving grace. I'm Johnathan T. Rokford. City forever, baby. We're out. What? You know, I don't know what the hell their problem is. But you know, there's a lot of things that go on. I know. Yeah. Lois said, "Fuck you." That's what she said. Yeah. Careful, Lola. You've been drinking. Jesus Christ. I know. It's okay, Lola. It'll be okay. Let's go to sleep. Okay. Night night. A happy Sunday to you, WPA, as I once again come to honor you. Well, actually, it's your honor, not mine. With my voice. Now, in case you don't know me, my name is Philip Alexander Carrington IV, and I once again have selected an individual who has impressed me with their performance in the ring. Now, this individual, although his name leaves something to be desired, his performance this week left no questions about how dominant he can be in the ring. Neither did it leave any questions that he could be quite dangerous. I speak, of course, of the forgotten one, Matty Ice, who put on a clinic on how to perform in and out the ring with technical skills that were very superior to his opponent. I'd almost dare say his opponent didn't stand a chance once he was selected to be the victim. Enjoying the match from start to finish takes great skill. Finishing the match and coming out the victor takes even greater skill, and not all in WPA can accomplish the same, but those that can, well, they should sometimes make my list. As we prepare for a very extensive week, which also happens to be one of my favorite weeks, we shall see who shall come out on top. We shall see who shall falter, who shall fail. Who is scared of success? But until that time, I wish you a good day. I said, good day.